real. And then you, of course, we're ride or die for life, but then we are bound to have issues. So respect
So, um,
and yes, please, funny. I like funny people.
it looks like
And people that like to have fun.
Yeah.
Like once in a while,
okay.
let's just turn up for the entire night.
Attention,
And forget every. In fact, they just turn up for the entire night.
So if you want to be Kimberly's friend, attention, kindly apply with your CV.
Funny.
To be funny, let us see your jokes. So but for you now, who doesn't buy the idea of having friends,
Okay.
how do you go about your daily activities? How do you say you have mutual understanding? Wouldn't that be you giving out information in pieces to so many people at the same time?
No. Okay, for me to be close to you,
Okay.
I'll definitely see something that will attract me.
What is it?
Attract your personality to me.
Like
Maybe
what?
in terms of your manners,
One,
your culture,
two,
the way you talk.
three.
If you talk or discuss with me sensibly,
I feel
then
like
you can
that
roll,
discourse
you
with me
can
said.
roll
I'm
well.
sorry
You
to
can
cut
roll
you.
well.
Yeah.
Exactly. You can roll well. But if you are just saying
If you
something
have
that
the wrong
doesn't
energy,
make sense to me, I will just stay far away from you.
This
So
question
that's
is very,
just it.
very sensitive that I'm about to ask.
Mhm.
Is the level of reasoning of an individual or exposure of the person can it affect the friendship?
yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can.
Yes.
It's very important. I
Yes.
remember there was a time I had issues with one of my friends because the time when this rape thing got really rampant,
Okay.
with people saying does dressing affect it or not, then feminism, a lot of all these little issues.
Yeah.
It caused serious drifts because I'm like, hello, are you not seeing are you not seeing the problem
Yeah.
with these things?
Mm.
And like in my very before, she was like, if the girl dress like that, then why won't somebody rape her? Like in that instance, I was like, okay,
It's a no
there's
for
a
you.
problem here, and if you don't see it, I don't know. So I'm like, no,
Mm.
I can't do this.
Mm.
This is not for me. So
the
I
thing,
had to, not that I cut her off completely, but I had to like, this person is important to me aside from this issue.
Okay.
So let me help you see that what you are saying at this point is wrong.
Is
Like
wrong.
it just doesn't make sense.
Mm.
So
Does that affect the friendship going forward?
no, it didn't because eventually she got on the same
Side
with
okay.
me. We are now we're on the same, but she carries it on her head more than me.
So Kim, you're the
for me, I say that
yeah.
we will definitely disagree. We can't agree on everything.
Okay.
We have different favorite meals. Like my favorite meal will not be your favorite meal. My favorite book will not be your favorite book. But definitely, no one should do it in a condescending way. It's not like, okay, because my friend likes this book and I don't like it, then I'll have to condemn it and say, oh, we're not going to be friends anymore. I'll just have to respect. I guess that's where the boundaries I'm talking about comes in. I have to respect that person's viewpoints and that person's choices. And as long as it's not influencing me in a negative way, then we're fine. We'll still ride or die.
So for you also, when you think of someone who you want to talk to and they have a particular way of reasoning, saying this is because I've had the chance of meeting very cool people who are, I wouldn't say that we were literally friends, but maybe I don't want it to sound in any way demeaning now. Okay, so I have an education, right? I've met people who do not have the level of education that I do have, right? And they make sense to me. Yeah, they make sense to me. I enjoy their conversation, but there is a level of reasoning that they do not, quote and unquote, possess because of the exposure that I have.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yes.
So I'm saying, would that affect your friends? Because you hear people say, I can't be friends with these kind of people.
But first of all, when you say exposure, are you the one defining the exposure for yourself? Is it like yes? Is it your subjective view? Are you saying that I am exposed? I believe I'm more exposed than this person, or is there like a standard that
you're giving to
you
yourself?
know you've reached that benchmark, and then you are like, okay, I'm exposed, and you know what, my friends are not up to. So it depends.
Okay.
And sometimes you just always be able to tell that okay, this person doesn't really understand some certain things.
But tell me, what I'm trying to say is that could now be based on your perception, your reasoning. You assume that you're better than that person. It doesn't mean necessarily that it's true.
Is it better?
No, it's not better. It's not
okay,
better.
let me say exposed. You assume you're more exposed, maybe from the perception or maybe
okay, let me say you just on some certain matters,
Yes.
you have more understanding
Okay.
than the
I
other
think that's
But it
correct
doesn't
word.
mean
Yeah.
that person
Yes.
does not have other, the person has strengths and areas that they have understanding of.
Okay,
Yeah,
let me
Just
let me
saying
put
that,
it
okay,
this way.
drive your point home.
Let me
Let's
put
see
it
what
this
you
way. Let me put it this way. Does the class you belong to affect the kind of friends you have?
Yes.
No.
No.
Yes. For
I think that is exactly my point that I want to drive. Does the
Okay.
class you belong to, does it
me,
affect the
yes.
kind of friends you have?
Yes.
It does.
Before now, no. But
Okay.
now, yes. I think
Give
it
us,
has to change
enlighten
into a
us,
yes.
enlighten us.
Sorry, response you. Tell me, just looking.
We all want to know. We know what is
No.
No, because I just feel that it's easier to maintain your sanity when you guys are just relating on the same level. No, it's not that you're trying to be. I think I've overflowed the word condescending. You're not trying to demean anyone. You're trying to make them feel less. But it's always a lot of work when you have to calm down to other people's, like, I don't know if you get what
I
I'm
get
saying.
what I'm being.
Mm.
It's like even in relationships, sometimes you hear some people sit online and say, okay, I'm educated, my wife is not educated. If I make this decision, she'll say, is it because I didn't go to school? Every little thing is it because you think you
Okay.
do this? And any little thing, they will use that thing to insult you at the end of the day. Like, is it because you have this degree? Is that why you think? I don't know if you get where I'm coming from. Or is it
Okay.
because you are
Let me hear what Thames think.
Okay, me personally, I think with friendships, friends now, not close friends, not best
Yes.
friends, with friends level, we attended the same schools,
Okay.
the same degree of university and everything. So at that point, we're on the same level. But another friend might not have a university education or whatever, but that person is in my life for a different reason.
Okay.
So as such, I can be able to insert myself in different areas. I won't have a problem being friends with someone that never even have a primary school degree because there's something I can take away from that person. There's something that person can take away from me.
Okay.
So-
Wait, let's hear what
It's
Damola
okay,
thinks. Come
okay.
back to
Yeah.
you.
In addition to what Timmy just said now,
Yes.
I feel striking the balance pays when you're in friends.
Mm.
Like when you have this friendship, striking the balance whether the person is from a good background
Okay.
or the person is not from a good background.
Let me
Okay.
not
Striking
say.
the balance.
Okay, let me not say from me down. Now let me look at the bigger people that I've tried to be friends with, and
Okay.
I know that there was that gap. Yeah, I found out that I was struggling, and they too they had to constantly come down to. It's their, everybody different reality for different people. Some people's reality is they can take first class and travel out today. They don't need to save money to apply for vacation.
Mhm.
Some people's reality is that okay, I have to plan to the end of the year before I go on vacation.
Okay.
So the thing is that they living their normal life may come off to you as a show off. It depends on your mentality, or it may just be that this is my friend. They might be this, but it's easier. For example, when they are with their lads, like they're doing things, they're playing golf, they're laughing, they're like, oh, are you coming from? I don't know if you get where I'm coming from.
Okay.
So now, for you now, even at the bottom, you have when they're having. Imagine that they're five.
Yes.
You follow your friend to a gathering. And they're having conversations like, okay, so how about that $10,000, $50,000? We talked. I'm just saying example.
But what is
And
what is the
even before you go there,
Yes.
you have to think of what you wear. Everybody there is wearing Gucci shoes. You okay? Maybe you just
But
say,
that's not pressure.
what is it? But it is their reality.
this is the reality?
It is their
Agree.
reality.
It is their reality.
They are-
That's the
let's
same
not-
thing I
let's not
just said
drift.
now. Striking the balance. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's not drift. But then I feel like at that point, then you just need to realize that that's your reality, and you're fine with it.
Mm.
The thing is, your friend, for example, may be trying to genuinely really like you and try to even come down to that your level. But then some things your friend might say will still one way or the other
Hurt your feelings.
And that's not for me. No,
At this point, my own problem is not like coming down or going up to people's levels.
Yeah.
It's all I want is really not even.
No, why don't we let it know
Just
there is
relate.
classism in the world, not just
Yes.
in Nigeria.
No.
Yeah,
Yes,
in the
of
world,
course,
there is
of course.
classism
Yes.
in the world.
Yes, of course. But then personally, nobody should have to like go up to meet somebody or come down to meet anybody. Just
Yes.
relate as
Just
you
be
are.
yourself. Yeah,
Friendships-
exactly.
Honestly, friendships they're nothing more than just what they are.
Do you know a
I like
perfect
It is
example
when
of
you
this?
quarrel.
Friends.
It is when you guys quarrel. You now hear things. You now be like, okay, maybe I should have just.
Then
Okay,
there's something wrong with
Then
I
that.
don't know
there
if you get-
There's something
was
fundamentally
something already
Wrong.
not right from the beginning
Beginning,
about
exactly.
how somebody had been feeling some type of way from the very beginning.
To say such,
Yes, to say such when you are quarreling.
Okay, but for me, I just feel like, for example, now we're all on the same, almost, even if not the gap is not much, it's easier for everybody to just.
But can I shock you?
Vibe.
Can I shock you? When you go to the salon, you talk with the hairstylist, irrespective of the class.
Oh, we're not friends.
You can strike a conversation with the hairstylist. If I go to the mechanic shop, I can strike a conversation with the mechanic, and we can laugh. We can literally joke all through just to make sure that I get my car fixed, and we relate.
If you get to know that person better, you never know.
You never know.
Yeah, that's why we said there are stages.
But hold on those thoughts. Kimberly, Damilola, and Timmy is in the studio with me this morning, and if you want to see their beautiful faces, you can just go straight to our YouTube page. You want to know the voices behind, you want to see the faces behind these voices, or the voices behind these faces. Which one? All right, just go to our YouTube page, WFM917 on YouTube, and then you can get to join the conversation as much as possible. The phone line is opened, 07000 917 917. We're talking about friendship on The Big Question.
The name says it all.
Human
Radio,
yes.
91.7.
Add.
Yes.
Ina zuwa.
Bari kawai yanzu nan fa ne waɗana transfer kuɗi ta waya shikenan aka cire min naira 50 wallahi sai na ji dalili.
Dila kenan shin kai baka da labarin kuɗin stamp duty?
Sai ka ce wani ne aka wasiƙa?
Ba stampin da ake likawa a bayan wasiƙa ba.
To me kenan?
Wani nau'in haraji ne da aka umarci bankuna su rinka cirewa kan duk wasu kuɗi da aka yi transfer su in dai sun haura naira 10,000. Haka kuma duk wata yarjejeniyar ciniki da za a kulla tsakanin kamfanoni ko mutum da mutum.
To ni kuma me yasa zan biya ni ba wani kamfani ba?
Biyan kuɗin stamp duty ɗaya yake da biyan sauran kuɗaɗen haraji. Da irin waɗannan kuɗaɗen ne gwamnati ke amfani wajen gina mana asibitoci, hanyoyi, biyan albashi da sauran abubuwan more rayuwa. Kuna iya biyan kuɗin stamp duty a shafinmu na www.stampduty.gov.ng.
Yanzu na fahimta. Biya kuɗin stamp duty a yau mu ga yadda za a yi mana ayyukan raya ƙasa da su. Wannan sako ne daga hukumar tara kuɗin haraji ta ƙasa FIRS.
Follow my guy. How every now? Nothing now, eh? That is money you got to call me. See, 9 Mobile, they give me call bonus quite of a finish. Now all my guys go here.
If you never recharge your 9 Mobile line for 40 days or more, recharge 200 naira and above, and we will summon you 6 times your recharge and double data bonus.
I'll follow my guy.
We're going to talk about the
Terms and conditions there.
kind of friends that we need. Do we need
Uncle
different kinds of
Dentist,
friends?
what are cavities
If you
and
have
how does
ideas, I have some here
Colgate
that I
protect
share.
my
I
teeth
want
from
to hear from you
cavities?
guys.
Does it use cold food?
No,
Yeah.
dear. Most
Some people say,
toothpaste
oh,
are
they
caused
need,
by
some people
tooth
say
called
they need some
cavities.
money
When you
friends,
brush
friends
daily with
who are
Colgate
always
Maximum
giving them money
Cavity
advice,
Protection,
friends
its
they
expert
can, that
formula
kind of
locks
thing.
natural calcium in our teeth and helps protect them from cavities.
It's time to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
Colgate is recommended by the Nigerian Dental Association.
We are Nigeria's only radio station for women and their families.
20 minutes to 10. This is still The Big Question on Radio 91.7. 07000 917 917 is the number for you to be part of this conversation. But if you are feeling it already, thank you so much for taking time to listen to us this morning. We're talking about friendship on the radio today. And I have, of course, joining the voices you've not heard in a long time is Damilola and Thames Voice on the radio. Yes, they are both here on the radio for... This is like your second time joining me on The Big Question.
Yeah.
Yes, of course, you already know Kimberly's voice. No need for introduction. Okay, so we're still talking about friendship. Now, I want to ask, in today's world, do you think people can still genuinely be friends?
No. Sorry, I
Wow.
was
No. Yes.
Yes. So we have 2 no's, 1 yes. I don't know where I stand. All right, let's start with the no, end with the yes. Which the yes first. Okay, we still have those one.
Why do you have to start? Okay.
Yeah.
I stand on my existing protocol
Protocols.
that friendships are not more than they are not more than what they are. Friendships. Friendships to me to start out innocent. You're cute. I like you. You like me. We have much understanding, respect. We're friends.
Okay.
So as such, like I said, you have different friends for different purposes and everything, but they are still genuine friendships. Let's not lie. this world is difficult. You cannot do it alone. There are genuine friendships out there. Even if it's in your husband, in your brother, in your mother, in your father, in your cousin, whether your family members, there are friendships. Let's be honest.
Okay.
We have friends.
Right.
Leaving those people out, right? Are we including? Are we? Before I say are we including? Are we including siblings and
families like families?
But are you aware that not everybody are friends with those in their family?
Sure. Exactly.
Yeah. So I think they should be included.
They should be included.
Well, like when I said no is because everyone is just looking for some way to get something or looking on how to go somewhere. So it's like everyone that comes across your way is someone you're just looking to use. That's the reality. Everyone is trying to use someone. It's like, this person wants, let me get close. Either for the contacts or for the money or for the whatever it is. Okay. There's always a reason.
Is there anything wrong in trying to meet somebody and know them? Because at the end of the day, they can be of help to you.
For me, yes.
There's a problem with that?
No, if you're looking for, if it's for friendship, then yes, something wrong with that. But I think if it's just for like networking,
okay,
you guys, it depends on where you meet. It could be like in a social club. Then you know that everyone is there to network. So yeah.
Okay, so first off, right? I'm sorry, I'm staying on that those lines. I feel like there are times when we need to know certain people, and in the process of knowing them, the essence of knowing these people is because of business. But in the process of knowing them, you become friends with them.
It's possible, but the truth is, when you lose your value, that friendship will likely not stand. The value they see in you, because it's almost like a transactional relationship. It's just that in this case, it's not both a man and woman.
Okay.
It's like two same sex trying to. It's like, okay, you meet at a golf club or you meet in a social club, like I said, and you guys know that those are places where people go to network. Okay. It's like, okay, I'm a business owner, you're a business owner, we want to get to. Yeah. That's a different ball game. Everyone there is mature enough to understand that this is. But when it comes to friendship, you guys meet in the weirdest places. Sometimes, like I said, my way back friends, you guys could even be kids when you have never started wearing bra. You knew each other from then. So what were your expectations? So those kind of friendships you find out, for me, my personal opinion, are more often than not genuine. But those other ones, it's not like you guys won't be friends, but when, like I said, you lose that value or that money or whatever perception the person is holding on to. And social climbers, I like to add this, are a big red flag for me.
Social what?
Social climbers.
What does that mean?
When I notice that, there are people who meet people just to use people to get to where they want to be. Like they keep climbing with people. So it's a red flag.
Honestly, all these things are very subjective. Okay. Because at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with meeting people for the purpose of like getting putting yourself out there.
Yeah. Okay.
Because honestly, you never know what can come out of it. Okay, yes, you more often than not, friendships end. It's at least personally for me, I've had a lot of friendships that end. But then I came to terms with from a very young age that you won't be friends with some people forever. There, people are in your life for a particular time, and then you both move on. It's not like there's anything deep there.
All right,
you just move on from that.
Yes. Next question is a very, very sensitive one. Now, this one says, boys are more likely to be friends with girls than girls are to be friends with girls.
Well, personally, that was the story for me because girls sometimes, I feel like it's something that was bred into them from when they were young. Like, okay, look at that girl, look at the way she's dressed. Be like this girl or be smart like this girl. You get that kind of thing. So they start breeding the fake friendships, the jealousy, the spite, rage against each other, all those kind of things. But then you now find out you're just more comfortable leaning to the guys.
Being friends with the opposite gender.
Let's just be friends with the opposite gender. At least nobody will be jealous of the dress I'm wearing. You get all those kind of things. And then people seem to think that guys will always say the truth, tell you as it is. Even though most of the time, yes, it's true. But then if you can find all those female friends that will actually give it to you straight, it's just like girls sometimes like to sugar things. But it's not a problem also.
So what do you think?
Yeah, well, the thing is, first of all, I do even think a guy and a girl cannot be just friends. So I think that's a conversation that will no, because see,
that's
it's
another
either-
I'm actually looking for
it is either
another
you will- see,
conversation.
for me, it's either you have done it or you're doing it or you will do it. It's something that it's either one of those three. So the thing is that, like I said, that's a conversation for another day.
Okay.
And that kind of friendship can only happen maybe when there's like a long distance. Maybe.
Wow.
And then there has to be a lot of boundaries. It's like, he's a man, he's a human being. Will he see you naked? Will he, But the thing is, okay, for what was it? Please take me back to it.
So same sex, same genders are less likely to be friends than opposite genders.
Yeah, for me now, my close friends are female. And I enjoy the conversations. I enjoy our relationship. And I don't like to put it. Sometimes when you think someone is jealous of you, I just think it's in the mind. I think it's a psychological thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes the person might not even be. Like if you Yegula in the book, there's a chapter that she said, a lot of women tend to think that maybe if you correct somebody or you are saying something, the person just, this one is jealous of me. And so sometimes, it's what you put out there, that's what you get back. So maybe the person is not even seeing it. So I think that could be the problem. Yes, it happens that girls jealous girls. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. Okay. But sometimes it could be that it's just a psychological problem. Like you just think people are jealous of you, but that might not be the case. So but for me, girls work fine.
Girls works fine, and I think it works both ways actually. It depends on the individuals, depending on the environment.
Eventually,
environment also. Yes,
eventually, because now
there is a girls group. Let me know. I don't envy them, but envy is the only word I can make use of right now. I envy this girls group because I see how they push themselves. Yeah. Like when I mean, like, I've never seen a girls group like that. This is a group where one of the girls was like, I have this business idea. I'm thinking of doing this. She explained herself to her friends in the group I think it's a group of 4 friends, all girls. And she explained herself to them. This is what the things the business idea. She feels like the business idea has potentials to become something big. She explained herself to the friends of the group, expecting to get feedback. The friends registered a business name for her, got a business started. One of them said, I have an extra space in my office. Come and use that as the office address. Bam, the business started. That was it.
And that's friendship self.
I've been in an all-girl group and it went so badly. It was horrible. But then I found a way to just turn it around and be like, okay, we're not close anymore, but like we can still relate. So now we went from like being closest of close to just being friends.
Casual. But how does that make you feel when you used to be like really close to someone and then let me see what life happens and then all of a sudden people just people drift apart, right? How do you feel about that? Especially from secondary school. Because some people had like great friendship in secondary school, and then you find out that right now they are both like on 2 different. They don't talk. They don't even know what's going on in each other's lives. And like, how did it happen?
Sometimes
like if I'm going through Instagram, and I see like some secondary school mates of mine that were so close, I used to think, okay, these people even like
buddies for life.
And I'm like, oh yeah, like it's a bittersweet thing. But then you know that, like I said, people are in your life for a certain period of time. And then when your business is done, it is done. That's life.
Okay.
How does that make you feel when knowing that sometimes you cannot totally be in control of the situation of certain friendship? Take for example, I used to have a very good friend, and when they traveled out, we were still in secondary school then, so the only means of communicating was via email. And for me to use an email, then I had to always go to a cyber cafe. So it made that friendship, go the other way around. So we couldn't really talk. I'm talking about the days when you have to scan your picture to send to the person. Not now like I don't. And when the person traveled out, we tried keeping up for a while, but Nigerian situation came into factor, and the friendship couldn't last. And I remember seeing the person, I think last year, and we literally were just on the table and we just kept staring and we couldn't say anything because we were like, how time flies.
Yeah.
How would that make you? How does that make you feel knowing that you had certain friendships that were like the intake point in your life? You reflect on that, like, how did this happen?
I'll adapt. I think it has happened to me before, so I'll adapt. It's just like it takes 2 to tango.
Okay.
So it's like even if you're trying to reach out and the person is not reaching out, then you burn out eventually.
Let me come to Damilola with using your last point as a face off for the next question.
Okay.
This thing about friendship, they say it has to be two ways. Like if I'm reaching out to you, you have to be reaching out to me. Does it have to be equal?
Yes, of course, it has to be equal because communication needs feedback.
Okay.
And then you need feedback from your friends to know if they really like what you're saying or what you need from them. So I believe it really needs a feedback. So if you're not getting that feedback from them, then it means that you are not on the same page as well.
Yeah. Does it have to be 50-50?
It should be 50-50.
Okay.
It should. But it's not always. And at that point, when you realize that it's not 50-50, you just ask yourself, is this something I'm fine with? Am I okay with being in a friendship where I'm the one that reaches out? Because believe it or not, you will be friends with people that just don't know how to reach out. I have a bad habit in my friend group. I said it casually, but I didn't realize that everybody knew. I'm like, really, at home, if we're not talking on the group chat, except I really need something like an information from you or something very important, I really won't text you. Most of the time, I will not text you. And they were like, oh, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. So everybody knows this. And they're like, yeah, we know.
But how does that make you feel? Because I think I have that kind of issue too. Because a lot of people feel like I don't reach out to them often. But I'm like, I got your back anytime.
Like, text me.
But because I don't reach out to you every day, it doesn't mean that I don't.
Like, I will think about you almost every day. But they're like, we realize that that's how you are. So when we see that, okay, Timmy has not said anything in a while, they will text and they will always reply. And then the energy is already, most of the time, that one has been already. So at the end of the day, it's like, okay, she will always, it's not like when they text, I give a certain type of off energy. So if you find yourself with that kind of friendship where it's not 50-50, you just have to ask yourself, is this something I'm okay with or not? If you're not okay with exerting yourself, then just remove.
If you're okay, some people are born givers, some are receivers. So if you're naturally a receiver, then that kind of friendship will bother you much. But if you're naturally a giver,
you don't mind.
You don't mind. Some you do all the giving, all the caring, all the reaching out, and you enjoy doing it.
Yes.
So they are givers, they are receivers. It depends on which side of the divide.
So the last thing we do on the show is quite therapeutic. Something I learned from my therapist, and I want to try it on the radio with you guys. I'm allowed to. So I need you to take the next 15 seconds to think of a friend that hurt you really bad. And when you're done, think 10 seconds actually. No, 10 seconds. No, wait. I know it's a happy day. Calm down, sweetheart. This is it. So take the next 10 seconds, think of someone that really hurt you bad, and write on the microphone. Be convinced enough to say, I'm okay with it, and maybe I've forgiven you.
Maybe no.
Well, I don't have any friends
because like the friends that have hurt me, still till today, they never even they know they hurt me. I know they hurt me, but they never came.
Apologize to you.
They never apologized.
This is not about them apologizing to you.
No.
You didn't even see it as something wrong.
As something so after it was like, no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No.
Okay. What about you, Damilola?
I don't even think I'm ever going to say
Damilola, really? have you thought about it? Have you thought about anybody?
I guess I have just one.
Okay.
Her name is Olatunde.
No.
I'm going to call her name.
Okay, are you forgiving her right now?
I've already forgiven her like some time past.
Okay.
So I'm just going to call her name. Yesterday, wherever you are, I love you. I'm forgiving you.
That's so beautiful. That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I feel like Kimberly. No one. Beautiful. All right. I want to say thank you. What about me?
Yes.
I'm the host.
Who don't hurt you? Answer us.
Who has hurt me? Man.
It's not me, so.
You know it's not you, right? I don't know. I rarely get hurt. So I'm good.
You rarely get hurt.
I rarely get hurt.
So you don't need any forgiving, or you don't need to forgive yourself, or
Yeah, no regrets. That's so good.
I'm taking over the therapy session.
Thank you guys for being on the show this morning. I believe it was very wonderful. And yes, do well to make sure you do good as you go about your daily activities. Yes, we said something on the Wake Up Show this morning. I cannot exactly phrase the quote the way it is, but it says something about gratitude is everything. And
courtesy. I think we're losing a lot of courtesy. A lot of courtesy is thrown away. And I think I agree. Yeah.
Okay. So be grateful. Be grateful for the people in your life. Be grateful for what you have. and be grateful for the friends you have made, the ones that have gone, the ones that you're no longer friends with, and more importantly, live a good life. Thank you, Kimberly. 10 on Radio Doctor. Stop this.
I forgot that you and I was this program. Oh, we're still like,
yeah.